What we are looking at here is the skeleton of a large browsing marsupial related to wombats that was common on the landscape at Alcoota, and in fact common across Central Australia 8 million years ago. Now, this is a common feature we find in many parts of the world, where as a response to the drying out of the landscape, we see animals getting bigger. Now, this is in part a response to the quality of the browse. The plants were getting tougher and drier, and they had to eat more of them to keep themselves fed. So that required larger guts to digest larger quantities of lower quality food. It also helped them insulate them against predation, because of course once habitats started opening up, they were out in the open and vulnerable to predation. So becoming big was a way to protect yourself. I have here the skull of Colopsis, one of the large browsing marsupials that we find at the Alcoota fossil site, which all lived about 8 million years ago in Central Australia. And we can see the teeth, and they tell us a great deal about this animal. Firstly, they're broad and clearly the teeth of a plant eater, not something that's adapted for slicing up meat. But the other thing about these teeth is they're not very tall in this respect, so that they would wear down relatively quickly if this thing tried to graze on grass. So this was a browser on shrubs. And the interesting thing is, if we look at the Alcoota fossil site, we find no grazers at all. They were all browsers. And that indicates to us that the dry environment at Alcoota 8 million years ago was probably very like the dry woodland shrub and understory of shrubs that we see in the desert park. So not many grasses, lots of bushes, shrubs and low trees, forming actually, for a dry area, a fairly dense vegetation.